Well, you guys, I'm not going to sleep tonight. So the movie stars Anya Taylor-Joy and Ralph Ineson, and it is directed and written by debut director and writer Robert Eggers. So the film is essentially about a family living in the 1630s time period and gets kicked out off of their plantation home where they live in this village and is sent out into the woods to live alone. Now, unlike a traditional horror movie, this in fact isn't really as horror as I thought it would be. The movie builds up a lot of tension and does a good job of making you feel like you're in the same position as the family is. And pretty much a bunch of stuff starts happening as they move out of their plantation, as you see throughout the movie. And there are a few good things and bad things about this movie, like every movie. To start off with the pros, the acting of this movie was fantastic. Some of the kids in this movie were better than the adults in the movie just because of their facial expressions and the way they portray as their character. Now, the boy in this movie was fantastic. He had some of the best scenes in this movie and just had some facial expressions that you can tell he was scared and that he was in this position where he couldn't get out of, and it was really good and it was believable. And the main girl in this movie was awesome. She was sexy, she was great, she did everything right, and it was just her performance was great. The mom pissed me off a little bit. She was annoying throughout the whole movie. The father was great. He did good. He really, all the character build-up was great, even though there was not enough time for character build-up because it felt like it was already there. Essentially, the movie did have some funny moments in the movie, surprisingly to me. And also some other things about the movie is that the time period was set beautifully. All the set direction for like the clothes and outfits that they wore fit the time period perfectly. The tone, the build-up of the suspense, and the some of the scenes that were just really disturbing and eerie, and I like had to look away at some scenes, but I looked just so I can capture everything that was going on. The even the soundtrack was great in this movie, and it really helped build up the tension of the scenes and helped with the characters developing and things like that. Now, the cons of this movie were at times it was boring. Not every movie is interesting 100% of the way, but it could have had more effect and more kind of speed it up a little bit, but then that again would defeat the purpose of how the tension build-up occurred, and that I loved more than the actual movie itself. The movie does a great job of making you feel like you were in that situation. I would have done terrible in the 1630s. I would have died right away, and I would have gotten lost in the woods or somehow and would have been the witch myself. But to think of it, the father and mother had to have been born in the early 1300s, since this movie takes place in the 1630s, around there. So they were probably either born in the early 1600s or late 1500s. And to that, I would have liked to see the transition from that, but it didn't really occur with the storyline, so that was fine for me. The cons of this movie, besides it being boring, there's nothing really bad about the movie. It's just, it had the perfect runtime, and besides it being a little boring, there was nothing bad about it. A lot of critics rave this movie as a Sundance Film Festival movie amazing. It got an 84 on the Mediatric score on IMDb, and I do agree with it. Out of 100, it did have its elements of the horror genre, but was not horror itself. There were no jump scares. It was just tension buildup, and so that I feel like made the movie 10 times better than what it should have. Like what fans thought it would be. The fans, people in the theater were shocked as I was, and everyone was silent throughout the whole movie besides the few funny bits in the movie. But I feel like the fans went into it thinking that it would be a full-on horror flick, like there were jump scares and cheesy lines and things like that. But no, the movie captured its time period beautifully and was more of a tension build-up, like I keep saying, because it really was. It was a portrayal of the 1630s and the family of a Christian devoted family and a witch possessing them. And it played out smoothly and did a great job of everything that it had to offer. And that being said, I would give this movie a 10 out of 10 just for what the movie is and what it led me to believe and what it helped me grasp the film of the movie. Now, the ending is a little bit confusing, but I don't want to give away anything about the movie. But if you understand what's going on, or at least half of it, then you'll understand the ending. And you'll know what I mean when you watch the movie. So, thank you guys for watching. This was my movie review over The Witch. And I'll just see you guys next time. This is the Tempest Productions, and see you later.